Hey folks, welcome back to Timberpunk, and probably we are now in, well, we are in the endgame of this series. If I can, it would be kind of cool if this worked out to be about 3 or 4 more videos, because I think that would get us to episode 40, if I'm remembering my numbers correctly. I'm not going to stretch it out if we need to for the sake of things. It's quite possible this will be 1 or 2 more videos. I don't know. We'll see how we get on. So, first thing, to address one of the comments that I had on science. Last time we used the fact that we hit 250k science to double one of the water sources. Now, there was a question about whether I should delete that 250k science before we can do the next one. That was going to be my assumption, but when this method was proposed, apparently that's not how the originators of this do it. They just let science accumulate, and if we hit 500k we can then double another one. So that's currently what I'm going with. There's not an easy way to remove science with DevTools. I can go into the save file and remove science. I'm comfortable with doing that because I have messed around with save files for Timberborn in the past, but currently my plan is to leave it, and if we can accumulate 500k we will look at doubling another one. And as I said before, we'll probably target this one because it's a 0.8 strength source, and it's a nice way of quite quickly trying to get more water into here. It's empty now. Yeah, we can get rid of that. Actually, you can probably get rid of a bunch of these paths. So the plan for today is to try and knock out some Steam achievements. There are a bunch of general, there are a few general and a few Iron Teeth related ones that I thought would be, for me, fun, hopefully for you, interesting, for what words me to get done. And in the process, I'll maybe do a few other bits and pieces as well. I'd kind of like to green this up. I was hoping that once we filled this up, it would be green, but that feels like it's going to be a way off. So we'll probably, let's just start the game rolling, and let's throw in a little bit of explosives there, and we'll get some trees planted in here just to make it look nice. Maybe the same here as well. Just to carry on with the whole making the place look better. So what objectives do I want to try and achieve then? You're going to lose game sound as I switch between the different things. Maybe that's the benefit of me having the background music playing in the background, because that's what background means, I guess, and the game seems to have paused as I've clicked away from it. So a couple of easy ones. So Endless Crunch. Run the 24-hour working for 7 days in a row. So I'm probably going to forget to switch this off, but we're just going to stick 24-hour working on for a bit. We'll get some tired beavers, but that's fine. The sky is the limit. Build a structure to the highest height on the map. Now that should be, I'm surprised we haven't achieved that just indirectly, but that should be relatively easy. I'm going to try and knock that out with another one, which is for the Iron Teeth to build 8 hydroponic gardens stacked on each other. And my thought was we come over here and we build a bunch of hydroponic gardens over in this area, so in Fortress Farms, and we just do a bit more food processing over here with bots, and then I'm just going to build up on top of it until we hit the top of the map, just to knock that objective out as well. So 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably have made sense if I had assigned them to something, but actually let's just we'll do half and half. So 2, 3, right, and then we do algae and V, and 1, 2, 3. Then we need a bunch of ladders so they can access them. So bosh, and then they need some path on those so that they actually function, and connect them up. And I should have also made sure, but let's just check. Nope, they are currently set to be beavers, and we want them to run the game on ×2. Probably can't run it more than ×2 because of the issues with performance we're having at this point in the save game. And they are bots, so we're good, I think. So that'll knock that one out. And then in terms of it being a structure, I don't know if just sticking platforms on top is going to count. And could, maybe just using ladders would count. So I'm going to do that. I guess because it assumes you're doing it with base game, you couldn't just use ladders, you'd have to do stairs and stuff. So, but we're going to do that and see if that knocks those two out. We have an drought approaching. So I come over here and check all of our, and it looks like we're kind of struggling a little bit with water flow at this point. Are we? You're still open. So water is coming through here and coming into here. So maybe we're not. It's still coming out of here as well. So we are flooding here. That's on unlimited. So we could maybe do with more, either more water storage or just more pumping capacity here. Or those straws. They are at 8. So we could do with more pumping capacity here to manage that. Or yeah, they're on a high. I wonder if is it worth trying to let more through here? Might as well just let it flow, because like the Disney movie, we should just let it flow, let it flow. I know, the jokes don't get any better, folks. They are never going to. They're never going to. You're just going to have to deal with it. I have a daughter. She was young at one point. She is older now, but you know. I'm a dad. There will be dad jokes. They will be awful. Deal with it. I also have coffee brewing, so I am going to pause in a moment to pour my coffee, and I will then be drinking my coffee as we go. It is early. It is not super early, but it is early. It is certainly early for me to be making content. I should put a tunnel in there. It is early for me to be making content. I am, for a change, away in a hotel. I know you're shocked, aren't you? And I've got some time before work, so making a video. Has that helped at all? I know, not really. I guess as long as it doesn't overflow in that time, but I wonder if we do just need more pumps here. This is just so high that this can't push any more water out, and that's a problem, I guess. So we need to be able to get more water flowing out of here, because this is low enough that it can flow. So maybe it was this that was limiting it. I guess we'll see. Anyway, I don't know if my Steam achievements list will update live, but let's carry on getting some stuff done, and then we'll pick some more to do. Let's put you there. We want. I'm going to use. I don't know. No, I'm not going to use that because it's easier to do proper automation instead of fake automation. Fluid dump. Forester, we'll make sure you are a bot. I'll make sure you. I'm sure I had that district set up to be bots by default. But anyway, path, path. Yep, we've just got the Hanging Gardens achievement. Awesome. Get that done. Let's come over here. Guessing they can't reach the rest of those. And we're going to need a path anyway, so let's put a path in. Right. Reach average max well-being. So that would involve us basically moving the beaver. I'm going to try and do that one last, I think. You can't do a wonder super quick. So that's Master Builder, I think, is one of the other ones, which is basically building one of every building. And pretty sure we've built most buildings, but we have some kind of empty land over here. So I guess we can just have a look at things and any buildings I guess we haven't built some of these. And does it count mods? I don't know. But my thought is that we just kind of put down. We must have used all of the platforms. We must have. We've certainly used all of the tubeways. Watertight tubeway. Yep, we've used that. A gate. I've not used that, I don't think. Have I used all of the bridges? I don't know. But what we can do, just for the sake of doing this, is we can just hang each of the bridges off of here. Just like so. The overhangs we can put over here. I'm pretty sure I've used all of the overhangs, but you know. And I would imagine that we just need to build these and then we can delete them. So, you know, I don't think it's a big problem. Bosh. We've certainly built ladders, so I don't think we have a worry there. We've built levees, we've built dams. I think we've built all of the floodgates, but just to be safe, I am going to put all of those. We've certainly built fill valves and throttling valves. We've built impermeable floors. We've built irrigation barriers. Actually, let's go have a look, see if we can build any more of our irrigation barriers yet. I think these can go now. And you can go, and we can fill in now this gap and this gap. But path there isn't. Which should improve that quite significantly. So back over here, landscaping. So we've built those. We've definitely built explosives. We've built all of those. Tunnels. We've built that. We've built that. We've built that one. We've built that one. Yeah, we've built all of the tunnels. Storages. Built all of the storages. District management. We've built a district centre. We've built a hauling post. We've built all of those. Housing. We've not built all of the houses. So I'm just gonna. I know we've built breeding pods. Actually, we've definitely built a barrack. We've definitely built a large barrack, but. Yes, and I think we used the row houses under the thing, but just in case, we've built deep water pumps, we've built deep bad water pumps, we've built fluid dumps, we've built those. We've built the crossflow filter, we've built the centrifuge, we've built the discharge. Yep, we've built all of those. We've built all of the food buildings, we've built all of the wood buildings, we've built all of the metal buildings. We've built that. I think we've built a clutch. We've definitely built a steam engine and gravity batteries. We've not built all of the flywheels, and as I said, I don't know if this takes account of mods. So we've built that guy. in case it does take account of mods, and this is going to hurt our science a bit, so it's going to hurt us getting to the we've hit the sky's the limit. Awesome. This is going to hurt us getting to the 500k, and we've dropped below the 250k. No, I'm not going to remove the doubling that we did. So that's all of those. We've done that one. Science-wise, we've done the number cruncher, the bot part factory, the bot assembler, the charging station, the control center, and the grease factory. Automation. There's some of these we've not built yet. So let's do all of those. I'm sorry if this is not very interesting. I'm kind of achievement hunting, so we've definitely done a weather station, but I'm literally just going to put down every single one. I don't know if they even have to be connected. I'm hoping not, because otherwise I'm going to have to redo some of these. I purely want to try and achieve the achievement, and I am going to then, what's this one? Detonator. Arms the dynamite beneath it. Okay, so we've got to put down a piece of dynamite. Logic. And put that down. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well-being. We've not built the shower. Okay. We could give them showers. Showering in the moat seems a bit dodgy, but we could. Why not? The peasants are showering in the moat again, sir. Oh, revolting. Yes, the peasants are revolting. So we did end up just about overflowing, but not quite. But we do have a problem over here, okay? And how did the dragon seed still not end up full? Still did not end up full. So we still need more water to go in here. Did we end up getting water flowing from this end? We did, just about. So that's cool. It's just a big area of water to fill up with a map that doesn't have a huge amount of... I mean, we're storing a lot of water over here, so I don't know. We're just about overflowing this with 0.4 of a day to go, so... Right, so we did all of the logic. We've now built all of the well-being things, because I'm pretty sure I've built all of the rest of them. Decoration. Okay, so... I'm pretty sure I've built everything I've unlocked, but just to be safe... and I know roofs go on houses. Roofs can also go on the floor, so... This mess is purely, and a bunch of these things we have built because we've used them, but, you know, just to get this achievement, this mess is going to be a thing. And so the metal fence, I think we used over in the fortress. We've definitely used that. Banners we've not used. I did have a plan for the banners, but I didn't got around to doing it, so go. There we go. Right, you're done. And then monuments, we've built all of the monuments, so that should get us the master builder once they build them all. Aside from, I think, the max well-being, and the other one I'm looking at is 50 cycles. This will have achieved all of the Iron Teeth specific one, bar having a population of 200 beavers without having built any housing. And I can't do that because I've already built housing, so that's a job for another series, I guess. So we'll just let them work on getting all of those built. If fact, have they? That everything built? Looks like it is. Does that mean I've achieved that one? It looks like it might have because it's just ticked up to 72. So, am I now a master builder? No. Has that not registered that achievement? What am I missing? So grown all of the crops. Built all of the bridges. Yeah. Built stairs. Those. We must have used one of those. And those. We just built all of those. Definitely built all of those. We've built double dynamite and triple dynamite. Yeah, we've used all of those. I've definitely used all of those. Yeah. 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 Yep. I have no idea what we are missing. I'm very confused as to what I am missing to achieve that Master Builder achievement. I think I've built everything. But the game doesn't seem to acknowledge it. So that's very annoying. Anyway, I'm going to ignore that because it's too early to battle frustration. That's what that is. If you spotted anything obvious in that little sequence, then let me know. Because, yeah, there was nothing obvious to me there that I had missed. Maybe you spotted that I didn't click on something through that sequence. So you can let me know. Because that would be helpful. Right. So let's go grab... No, not automate. Copy. Wash. Wash. Yeah. You're going to be new rules, depth, Erig, pawn, Dragon Seed 1. Because I just need to come up with a new name for it. Rules, construction, and Bosch greater or greater than 0.6. Pause, save, duplicate, invert, script 0.4. Save, close, and then we go plant trees. Wash. I don't know how big an area they can actually plant, but we'll just do as much as they can, and then I'll come back in and edit the plant area. Wood, lumberjack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's fine. And then we'll grab you. Copy rules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Where I guess he ran out of charge instantly. So that's that one sorted. bot, and you're going to be signal Eric DS2. Probably spelled that differently. Doesn't matter. Create new rule. And at this point, do we need to do this? Not really. It just saves a little bit of labor in terms of having a bot sat in there permanently versus them coming and going. So duplicate, invert, and I always edit the first one. You don't necessarily need to. Awesome. And then we'll do again, plant trees, and just throw in a bunch of oak trees. And it's just going to make it look a bit better having, is it going to make it look nice having big square patches? Not really, but you know, better than big dead blocks of stuff. So, and if we're lucky, it'll join up with the other areas and it'll all be good. So, yeah. Right. I'm guessing our beavers are getting quite tired. I'm not sure how close I am to my endless crunch objective. We're not there yet. No crunchy nut cornflakes for you beavers. So, we can now delete this silly thing. Come on. That doesn't need to be there. I can't go delete the other silly stuff that I built. How's our power grid looking? Pretty good. I'm thinking, because we have power over here now, have access to power here. I'm thinking we throw in a bunch more number crunchers over here. I'm just going to put them on the surface. Maybe in this bit. How are you guys? Oh, you're still extracting metal and cleaning stuff. That's fine. In fact, I think what we'll do is, because idle beavers are bad beavers, although most of our beavers are currently idle, let's do that. These guys can reach a little bit further, but not a lot. So let's put that there. Let's grab a fresh one. Put that there. And let's do some fresh marking of thorn deletion at that level as well. Keep clearing that. And I'm going to come down here, and we'll come down here, and we'll carry filling this in like so, and like so. Yep. And science cruncher. And if I put the number of crunchers there, they instantly connect to the power. And if we move the path around, why aren't they going that way with the path? Oh, because they're still chomping metal out. That's okay. Let's remove this path. So I could delete that and put it there, and that would still act as the power connection, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yes. Come on, game. Catch up. Catch up. So we can then do that. Put that there. And then we can kind of isolate these things together a bit. Somewhat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not going to go because of that. So 6, 7. You know I want an even number. 8. So let's do that. Okay, so they made some progress. I have more coffee. I had so much caffeine today. What I want to do, actually, and we're going to make use of some base game automation. I'm not sure where it is in... We're going to use a power meter. Power. Yes, we are appealing to Mr. Clarkson. Because what I want to do is I don't want these ones to run when we're short of power. So I must have a power meter somewhere on the grid, but we're going to have this one set up to measure surplus. And I guess if that surplus is greater than 10 HP, so if there is a positive surplus, these will switch on. Well, I don't know how well that's going to work because I've not really messed with it. Can you do a negative surplus? Maybe that would be better. So if there's a, maybe that would be better. So if they're in a if the grid's in a deficit, they switch off. So if it's not in a deficit, they switch on. I don't know. I'm gonna try it this way, and we'll see if it works or not. So automate off of that, and then we're going to do a V and apply that to all of them. I don't know if this is going to cause like instability in the demand, because if the surplus will obviously, you know, this is 5. This is a 4,000 HP demand, and so if the surplus drops, this will suddenly lose 4,000 HP of demand, and then do you get what I'm doing a really bad job? And maybe it would be better if the grid was in a debt of 4,000, they switched off. And I don't know if I can do that. Let me just have a play. Is there there's not a deficit option, but can I put a negative? Put minus 400. I can't put minus 4,000. No. Minus 4. Yeah. So if the measurement is greater, it would be, if it's less than or equal to that, and then I want to put a not in, because we're doing it for all of them. So I think that's right. I'm not awake enough for this stuff, folks. Don't do logic when you're asleep. Bosh. Nah. So if there's a greater than minus 4,000 deficit, this switches on, which switches that one off, turns them off. So it will obviously run up to that, which is not great. And maybe we want to put it halfway. But we have got the batteries, so the batteries will kind of soak that for a bit. So I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Have I got my 43rd? I have, so I've now got my grinding thingy, Steam achievement. So if I go back now, there are only 16 achievements I don't have. So I have not got my master builder one. So it's that and the max well-being and the Beavers without houses. Sounds like some kind of community support project, doesn't it? Beavers without houses. So now we have this. The reason that it's like this here is because of this bit. We could probably help address that by coming across here. And that'll help with that bit. Now what we could do is throw in another pond. And that'll start to sort that out. And then this side we could do something similar, particularly if we move this path. So if I grab that, well, move it across one. Barrier. There. Go right into the corner. There. Good stuff. We could then start to plant all this up as well. Will we? I don't know. I'm actually at the point now where I don't know if we keep going to try and fill the Dragon Sea more. Do I just jump ahead a bit to the point where I've collected more science so that we've increased the water strength more? Depth. Let's just call it 10. It's probably not 10, but we need to give it a name. So that's the name it's going to have. You're going to be a bot. You're going to be a bot. Rules. And it really doesn't matter what you name them, as long as you're linking them to the right thing. And you know the drill in terms of how we set this up. Save, duplicate. We'll invert this one this time. Script 1.4. Save and close. And in theory, we could just let the natural spread happen, but let's do some more organic looking planting over here. We do still need the irrigation for this, but we won't intend to farm it, I guess. Pine trees in. There we go. So that'll do that. We could backfill this as well. Bit more land. Why not, eh? Right. I'm thinking of wrapping this video up shortly. And polling your opinions on where we go next. I've got one or two ideas, but I'm not sure if at this point we're just kind of dragging this out for the sake of dragging it out, and whether we should just put this to bed and start something new. So, not for the sake of engagement, I want your feedback, folks. And what I'm going to probably do between videos is let the science accumulate a bit. And if you, and I could, because I'd like to get to 50 cycles anyway. So, I'll probably just let the game run on a bit so that I can do some of that. And And that way we can increase the strength of some more water sources, or and more water source. But so there's one of the projects that I haven't tackled yet, and I might do, and it's interested in your feedback, is we could this generates a ridiculous amount of flow, and we could do some power generation down here with some water wheels. Obviously, it only runs during a bad tide, and I don't know if we need to or not. We don't need the power particularly, and there's some refinement we could do to water flow mechanics. Have I managed to disconnect this somehow? Yes. Cool. You know, things like we need more pumpability up here. I don't know if it would actually help, because it's more that they can't transfer the water out of this once it gets too full. It's just not flowing. So it could be that we actually need to improve the flow out of here. And maybe that's just a case that we need to open this up even more and open up this even more. So there's a bit we can do next time on flow and improving that. And if I'm running the game on for a few cycles between videos, I might do a bit of that. I know some of you don't like me doing things between videos, but I would like to get to 50 cycles, and I don't think there's much more than a video or two left in this. So yeah, but let me know what you think on what we should be looking at doing. Let me know what I've missed on this master builder thing. I'm not super worried if I don't get it, but it would be nice. So the options are we move on with a new series and start something different. I've got an idea for something which is apocalypse difficulty-esque. And I say esque because having really long cycles makes it challenging. So what I'm probably going to do is have the ratio of very long droughts, but doing it with shorter cycles. So resource acquisition is going to be hard. So rather than having sort of 100-day droughts, which you usually balance out with longer temperate cycles, I'm going to shorten the temperate cycle. Don't know how it will work out. That's my theory. So we're going to try and make it hard, because hard is always interesting, and I might die and fail disastrously. But anyway, so that's what I'm thinking for a next series, because the survival bit is always interesting, until you get into fun engineering stuff. And so, yep, that's what I'm thinking. If we go on to a new series, there's the do stuff down here with more power generation, and there's the little bit of refinement we need to do in terms of flow of water as I go towards getting 50 cycles done on this map. So let me know your thoughts, assuming you are watching the series in somewhat real time, because I will make a decision within the next video. But yeah, thanks for watching, folks, and thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. I will see you all next time.